Hello everybody and welcome to the second Build-A-Bird Habitat Building Competition Tour video. I have received and will be touring 4 excellently amazing submissions. Today we're going to be looking at the Red Crown Crane Aviary by the Lorenz. So let's jump into it. This is so much different from the last one. That is really fun to see. I love the use of all of these different materials, yet somehow they all match, they all work together. Let's go right, because that's what we did. This is pretty. This is a really nice way of finishing off. The zoo stops here. And then we just have this view of the nature out there. That's really nice. Emergency exit. So I take it we're not just look at that. And the use of the ambient sound too. So we have 2 different staircases here. Okay, let's go this way. There's a bit of flickering. And we're gonna go back down the staircase again. We have something out here. Nice use of the new masonry, more flickering. Okay, so the 2 builds we've seen do have something in common, which is the use of these nice little squares. I don't see any. Oh yes, there are benches. That is so cool. This water feature here. Oh, it's a log up there. The ivy growing on it. Wait, what is this? Primitive rectangle. Okay. Would have liked the plant thing that we saw over there. Would have continued here. Just a little bit. Oh, we can actually go into the aviary. That is really nice. Love this green. And there's a bird. Wait, where's the path? This is confusing. Okay, so there's a bit of a realism thing here, because I'm like walking out here and I can't see anything specifically telling me not to. So, hi bird! Why are you running away? Come back here. Oh, you're running to your side. They actually fly? I mean, sort of, like bouncing while flapping. That's flying, right? Not really sure what the rope is for. But it does look nice. We have this. Ooh, I want to go up there. There's flickering. And we have an airlock. Look at that. Look at that. So that was short. Keepers can walk in here and make sure that the animals do not escape. We have a bit of floating water here. We have a thing at the bottom. What is this? I feel like this has a purpose, but what is the purpose? Apart from me standing on it and getting a nice view. Is that the purpose? Is it a viewing platform for me? Seriously, please tell me in the comments, what is this? I'm confused. What else is new? I love these birds. Hi, Beakface. What are you doing? That is so cute. Is that? No, I'm more tall. And there is the exhibit. Okay, so we are gonna go in here. I'm gonna be tall now so I can see above people. We have some toilets here. Is there an actual toilet built? That was unexpected. Okay, I guess we'll walk that way. So we have a terrace up here, and we have no entry, staff only. Am I gonna fall down again? Okay, so that's just good use of the barriers here. So that's just to like have something that makes it seem like something. That's a good idea. Oh, so much flickering. Holy. That is a really nice view. Kind of wish those people weren't there, but... There's a lamp above that thing. What is this? It looks very convincing, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm convinced of. Okay, so now we're walking down the tall staircase led to the terrace. This looks nice from the back too. Why is this in the concrete though? More flickering. So we're gonna go over here, and that says staff only. And you made a really nice staff sign too. Am I the only one who has issues with staff signs? I'm like trying to hide them and make them discreet, and you guys make them huge, and that works. So whoa, there's no loud. This is nice. You can sit back here, and then someone will tell you about the birds, and then you go look at the birds. Okay, so now I'm the same height as the people, and now I'm in the wall. That's really nice. You can get out of the way, lady. See, now I'm adult height and child height. So the kids cannot see through any of the windows, and this one is just a little bit too short for the adults. Bit of overlapping glass here. Again, I wish the people were not out there. Let's step back a little bit. Okay, I'm in the flowers. So it's integrated into the building quite well, but it doesn't feel entirely finished here. And that's super creepy. So build-wise, it's the same thing has been done as in the Australian habitat by A4, where you can see all the way through. But it doesn't quite have the same feel because you can see the people out there. Nice recoloring here so it fits in. I really like these squares. Bunch of different pinks. And the pink and red. Running up the stairs. And this one is just more green, and here we have the use of these flowers. Very, very nice. Look at this over here as well. Yeah. Let us go check out the staff area. Okay, we have, is that trash sorting? We have some little recycling bins here. And some kind of an electrical thingamabob enclosed in glass. So I guess that's so that the stuff can go in there and also it stays dry, maybe? Nice use of those thingies as handles. Thingamabob, I am losing my words. Keeper and restroom. This thing is nice, and I like the little light switches. That's a nice detail. Definitely have wanted the doors recolored. And this is the habitat entrance with more of these. Wow, there's a lot of paperwork in this, ooh. And this is a really nice area, a little trellis here, hidden by the rocks so the guests can't see you, all peacefully with the flowers and stuff. That's a really nice place to sit and rest. And we have a gate here so that the guests will not go in there. Let's take a quick look at this place in the dark. Never actually did that with the other one. Lighting works well. Lighting in the floor works really well, and the lighting in the flower beds. Okay, that is definitely pink. That is super cool. Not entirely sure how well it fits in with theming, but in and of itself, pretty cool. Okay, let's look at some points. Starting with habitat realism. First of all, I love the fact that you built an airlock so that the staff can walk in there without the risk of letting out the animals. However, still have no idea what this thing is, but it looks it looks genuinely realistic, so this is also going to be a plus. And please tell me what it is. I need to know what it is. Having water in here for these birds is a must, and that, of course, is also exactly what a zoo would do. A zoo would, however, also put up a fence or some kind of demarcation. Maybe instead of putting down just grass for the guests to walk on, they can have a slightly raised wooden path, just so that the guests know where they can go and where they can't go. Because yes, I mean, there must be a path since they're standing there, but it kind of looks like they're not supposed to be here, and yet they are. These look super pretty, but realistically, I would not have fire inside of an animal habitat. Same goes for this very pretty thing. There is fire inside of an animal habitat. So all in all, I think this is about halfway realistic. Maybe a little bit more. So I'm giving it a 3.5. In-game functionality. Hi, Flappies. Are you happy, Flappy? Not entirely. Because this is the only food enrichment they have. Everything else is perfect. But I really, really, really would have put in 2 of these things, the feeders. Especially if they start having more babies, which I'm sure they will, because, I mean, they are 96% happy, so I would have put in 1 more of these, maybe over here, in connection with the ponds. Had you done that, you would have gone a perfect 5. As it is now, it's a 4.5. Next up, the wow factor. Some of these things are extremely wow. Like the backdrop here. The use of the different rocks and just a little bit of moss and a few plants, just, hinting at it. They use these plants here, just this, this whole area. But if we zoom in on this area, there are a few type areas where the finishing touches are just not quite there. Like I said, the use of water, excellent, but you also have grass growing at the bottom of a pond, and you have these things, which I would definitely have hidden. So super quick advice, when it comes to these water places, use the auto paint. I don't actually use this a lot, but specifically for water, I do, because this edge here is really hard to achieve if you try mixing the colors yourself. For this one thing, the auto paint feature is perfect. The aviary building looks very nice. But when you start zooming in, there are a few little issues. Like right here, we have so many of these beams. You have 2 over here, there's only 1, so you deleted some along the way, but not all of them. And we also have a couple of very strange pieces of mesh sort of floating. And take a quick look at this corner. This is what you have. With a bit of tweaking, that is what you could have. But despite those little details with the mesh and the things, I really, really like the aviary. I like the way that it's laid out. It looks really nice. And I love the fact that the building is not, exactly at the same angle. So they're like mushed together in a mushed together sounds so bad, but I mean it positively, okay? My point is the wow factor of this is gonna be a 4. Next up, the exhibit. I really like how you matched the outside, the outdoors part of the exhibit to the inside part of the exhibit, where this trunk matches that trunk and these leaves matches those leaves. That is just really, really nice. And the use of this rock here, of course, blends it in with all of this, so that is just top dollar. These things, however, were great inside because they match the walls, and they match these things, and they match everything. Out here, they seem a little bit out of place, because yes, they do match these walls, but they're part of like a piece of nature, so I'm not entirely sold on these out here. I think this is another thing that could maybe have been sunken in just a little bit, sort of flipped a tiny bit. Well, you saw what I was trying to do, right? That was weird. But this is such a tiny minor thing, the coloration of these, because you could have also just recolored them so that they match this instead of that. Tiny thing. The main thing that actually bothers me about this is that there are people on both sides. Because I'm over here trying to look at the insects, meanwhile she's taking a picture of me. So, with all of the pluses and the drawback of having an audience while being an audience, I am giving the exhibit a 4. Next up, the staff area. Right off the bat, this piece right over here, this little ruin-ish corner, looks so good. Wish you had covered this part of the path, maybe in some mud panels or something, especially since you have grass growing out of this. The little picnic area is so cute, I would definitely have my lunch here. Look at that, the view of the mountains and the trees, and yet it feels private, you know, because of the rock thing. I like that you put thought into some practical things, the clipboards where you, I guess, check off feeding times and cleaning times. You have some trash sorting over here. You have this electrical thingamabob and a hose, but that's pretty much it. I wish you had put in maybe just some shovels and things over here, a couple of buckets, you know, just a little more. This whole area, including this super cute little balcony, it feels like a really good start, but it also feels pretty unfinished. So I am giving the staff area 3 points. The guest area. You have some of the nicest flower beds I have seen in a long time. And you also have an absolutely tremendous amount of flickering. The shape of this thing where the hole in the path becomes a feature rather than a bug. Well-placed benches, the use of the different materials here. You have like 1, 2, 3, 4 different materials and it all just works together. As well as the decals. Super nice. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. That sounded sarcastic. It was not. The guest area is being judged both on prettiness and on functionality. I checked out the education. It works very well. The guests are plenty educated. Nothing is overlapping. Nothing is too far away. So that is all great. You did, however, forget a donation bin. And I only know that because this thing, okay, you also have no educators to give talks despite having a talking point. That's not great. And again, you started off with these flowers here and it looks great, and then it just stops. There's nothing over here, so it feels unfinished. Did you run out of time? The roof is actually really nice. Except for the flickering. Flickering! Okay, I got most of my rage out there. There is one thing about this building here, which looks really good, that bothers my sensibilities a bit, and that is that there is no way to access the top floor here if you can't walk. I know the game doesn't have elevators, functioning elevators, but one could hint at it, or maybe put in a ramp. All in all, the guest area will be getting 3.5 points. Looking at the overall look, and cohesiveness, this building is much more simple than this out here, but built in the same materials, which is precisely what you would see. This thing was very pink in the dark, which was a bit odd, but most of it just works really well. You definitely have 2 distinct styles in the aviary itself and the building and guest and everything else area, which isn't unrealistic, but I think maybe these 2 things could have been brought together just a little bit more. Maybe some of the faux rock could have been brought out here. You already brought out the water feature, so. Also, the theming is really nice. You have these lamps here matching the benches, but then over here you don't have those lamps. And you have these lamps down here and these lamps up here, so okay, you have one of them. Just a little more consistency in the lamps and a few finishing touches that are not quite there, which means that the overall look and cohesiveness will be getting 4 out of 5 points. And when we add all of these points together, the Lorenz, you get 26.5 points, which is exactly the same as A4. I swear I didn't plan that. Okay, bye!